Mad Max is really just a big baby, out of control. But with Pet Trainer 911, good manners are just a whistle away. And the touching story of Emily, a brave young survivor and her four-legged guardian angel. Plus, learn the safe way to add a pooch to your pouch. All that and more on Animal Attractions.
Hi, I'm Megan Blake. Welcome to Animal Attractions, the show about the deep affection people have for their pets.
And I'm Alex Boylan, and this here is Casey.
And who would have thought that puppies would become a fashion accessory? From the chic streets of Paris to the purses of celebrities, these tiny pooches have become a craze. But how do you keep them safe? We've got some great advice.
But first, we all know too often that pets don't always end up being the sweet companions that we want, like with Mad Max. It's another case for our Pet Trainer 911. Max is a 9-month-old German Shepherd puppy whose owners thought would make a wonderful addition to the family. But once home, his energy and excitement left them worn out. He escapes to the street and levels everything in his path. Not only is he messy, his owners are afraid he's going to get killed or hurt someone else. Now he's known as Mad Max because his endless energy is creating stress and anxiety.
Max is always escaping through the gate, from the car, just running. It's like he smells freedom, so he grabs all of it that he can. Max! 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 You had it!
The most concern that I have about is when he runs out in the street. He's still a puppy. He doesn't look both ways. He's not concerned about the cars or that type of thing. And
if a car is coming, he'll stop. He won't move. You can call him. If you can grab him, you really have to pull him out of the way.
He doesn't understand how big he is, and we have a lot of kids over, and when he jumps, he's playing, but he doesn't realize that he may be hurting them.
Some of the things he's doing that just makes life miserable is getting into the trash. If we leave him on the patio, rest assured when we come back, the trash is strewn everywhere. Turning over, seedlings I like to plant. He'll get up on the table and pull the cups down, spill the dirt out. Just rambunctious.
Yeah, it's kind of like the rhino in the china shop, so to speak.
One time at the vet, she was trying to get control of Max to examine him. She had to call somebody because she couldn't. And I said, he needs emergency 911 training. And she got Ronald's card and said, you need to call him.
She told me he was 10-month-old and he was a handful for her and her husband.
How you doing?
Hi, Tish Cromer. Nice to meet you. Come on, let's introduce you to Max.
Okay. Mac was in the back room. He heard us up front, and he was whining and barking, and she said, that's him. Put him in the back room. He would bark and just be a nuisance.
So, Ronald, this is Max. And Max is a pretty good dog, but he is hard to control. He doesn't hold his commands. If the gate is open, he runs out, he runs down the street, and I'm really afraid he's gonna get hit by a car.
Yeah, do you have that list I had you make out?
I sure do. Here you go.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Run back and forth in the car, bolts through the door.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you help us?
Oh, yes. I got him for 30 days.
Great.
And then I'll call you and let you know when he's ready.
Okay.
And then I bring him back home and I train you and your husband for 7 days.
Okay.
And each time I leave, the dog leaves with me. So
Great.
now we're trying to see can we train the family.
Okay.
Coach came and picked up Max to go to his quote unquote, I want to call it college because it's just like sending the kid off to school.
Good luck.
I feel like I'm glad to have you gone, but I still miss you. But when you come back, you're going to be better for it.
When he took him away, I felt I missed him, but I didn't. I missed him from the standpoint that we already love him. We like having him around, but I didn't miss him because I didn't have to deal with his behaviors.
I left her house and I put him in my car, he immediately started wanting to run back and forth. But I took and I pinned his leash in the door, and we drove on back home. And then when I got him home, I put him in a crate, and he didn't want to go in there. He was bagging away. I even took him by his neck to push him in, and he was just bagging out. He didn't want to go in there. So he was trying to win with me too. Back stick. They had him in a crate in their house, so he had to come to my house and be put in a crate. Then I will wean him away from that crate, where he'll be able to be tied up somewhere in the house where he can be a part of the family and be with us and get used to everything. After getting him tied down, I worked on him immediately and him being quiet, because when I went into another room, he was even calling me. He wanted to be with me. So right away, I didn't say his name. I started using that word quiet. Quiet. So we established some dominance, and I wasn't talking to him, letting him know, or wasn't babying him. I just said quiet, and then all of a sudden he started shutting down. And then the next day we took and started taking him through some obedience, because he was pulling and going the way he wants to go. You go right, he was going left. He wasn't following you. So I let him pull me for a while, and then I started changing everything around.
If you got a dog that constantly wants to pull and jump up on you, I use the pinch collar. The pinch collar doesn't hurt the dog. It just reminds the dog of who's the boss, how the mother dog did her puppies.
I would just let him stretch the leash out like he's pulling me and give him a slight pull and tell him stop. Then all of a sudden he just started following me.
Heel. Place.
When you take the dog through his obedience, me and the dog, we bond. He knows I'm a dominant dog. He knows now he has to follow a leader. If he's out in front of you, he's the leader. When you let him off the leash, he'll leave you. So me working with him like that brings him closer to me, and he respects me. I train him for the whistle, where when he goes out the door and takes off running, she blows that whistle and he turns around. He blow that whistle, he turn right around immediately. They would like to walk him off the leash, and that way he's up front, and then when you want him to come back to you, just blow the whistle, he comes back to you. It's for him to have some freedom. So when he hears the command off, he knows to get off whatever he's up on. So what we did, we have somebody come to the door to set the dog up, to stop him from jumping on company. So what we did, we have somebody come in the door, ring the doorbell, come in. So that's what he did. He went up on that person, and I corrected him, told him off. But I didn't reward him. Because if I reward him when he comes down, well, then he's going to think it's a game. It's very important to give that dog some structure and to make him sit and to stay there when he's told. And the down and the come here, it all comes together. Now the dog, to me, has a brain. I knew when he was listening to me, I would let him off the leash, he wouldn't run from me. I would snap him on the leash, he wouldn't pull me.
Come here.
I would put him in the car and he would just sit still. I knew it was time for him to go home. So I made a call to the owners and asked them, are they ready to be trained, because the dog is done.
Guess who's home? Hey, Max! Good to see you!
He made it.
Hey!
He did good at boot
Look at him, he's sitting. That's great. When Coach brought him back after his training, I was amazed that he was listening. He was doing things on the first command. We still have to work with him a little bit, but the difference was amazing.
Have this leash in that hand and keep your hand right there. You just start walking and say heel.
Heel.
Now turn around, say place.
Place.
Here you go, go walk that way.
Place. Place.
Take him toward the furniture. If he gets up on it, tell him off.
Okay.
I was just amazed with the progress that he had made, because it was difference between night and day.
Now blow the whistle and pull. Give him a treat. There you go. That's what I want to see you do, that right there. You blow that whistle, he's going to come running back to you because he knows you got a treat for him. Stretch that lead out. Stretch that lead. Back up. Blow your whistle. And he's going to come right over to you. Now come back this way. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
The hardest part was training me to let me do what I needed to do with Max, and not let Max do what he wanted to do.
Go into the car. We're going to wait.
When Coach showed me how to put Max in the car the proper way, something so simple, it makes a world of difference.
There you go. And that's how you shut him up to let him ride with you.
Now they know how to separate things. They know when to play with the dog. They know when to love and pet on the dog. And the dog knows the difference too.
I have to say, I couldn't be more pleased with the results that I've received from Coach, that Max has received from Coach. And I couldn't have done it myself.
Hey, Max. Hey, Coach. Hey.
How you doing? He's back. You did real good.
Very good.
So this is the last day.
Okay.
So if you have any problem with the dog, you call me.
Okay. Being able to have him take Max, train him, come back and train us with Max makes a world of difference.
And just keep working the dog 10 or 15 minutes every day in the house.
Okay.
Work him outside. And the more you do it, the better it's going to get.
Okay.
Welcome home, Max.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you. We really
Call me
appreciate
anytime.
it. See you later, Coach.
You have a nice evening.
Appreciate everything that you have done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel comfortable that he's learning, and that opens a lot of more opportunities for us to go places and have more fun, so he can enjoy himself. We can enjoy each other, and I don't have to worry about him getting hit by a car. So he's safe, he's happy, I'm happy because he's happy, and everybody's happy.
With razor-thin phones and palm-sized computers, we knew it wouldn't be long before man's best friend joined the trend, with petite pooches small enough to accompany you on the go. Meet the pocket puppy. These breeds average around 5 pounds and have familiar names, often with descriptive words added, like toy, teacup, or miniature, like the toy Shih Tzu or teacup poodle. The Yorkshire Terrier, Chihuahua, Maltese, and Pekingese are also pocket-sized pups for the compact companion. If these chic canines catch your eye and you choose one for company, you can step out in style with these pooch-friendly pouches. Not only are they ergonomically correct for human and canine, but for the fashion-conscious, they lend a sense of style to complement your look. There are a wide variety of purses to choose from. The common factor that they all have this little hook inside, so you can secure your puppy so he won't jump or fall out. And while inside, the little dog should wear a harness and not a collar. This way, if they should make their way out, they won't choke themselves.
Oh, look at that dog.
These little doggies and their cute bags are very compelling and often attract attention. So, as when taking any dog out into the world, make sure your pup is well socialized to avoid him biting friendly strangers who might stick their hands in for a quick pat. To keep them receptive and confident, begin socializing them as early as possible. However, veterinarians recommend restricting their exposure to non-vaccinated dogs until after all their shots are complete, which usually is at about 16 weeks. Introduce them to their bag gradually and try to make it a fun thing. Put them in for a few seconds without picking it up. Then take them out and play with them. Repeat this for a few days and next begin picking them up in it for a few seconds, then extending the time. The goal is to make this a natural, fun part of their day. It's extremely important not to frighten them by this experience, especially between the ages of 7 to 10 weeks old. Pocket puppies are cute and fun, and fashion shows are even flaunting them as stylish accessories. But don't forget that they really are not an accessory. They're a living being with very specific care needs. There are some simple things to remember, like let them have a bathroom break before you go, and maybe one every hour. These intermittent breaks will also give them a chance to stretch their legs. While in the car, don't keep him in the purse. Let him sit in a doggy car seat. That way he's safe and gets another break from just being stuck in one position. Dogs require a lot of hydration, so offer them water at least once an hour. Also, since dogs can't sweat, are wearing a fur coat, and have a high natural body temperature, it would be very easy and fast for them to develop heat stroke in the enclosed purse, which could be fatal. Pocket puppies are very popular, which means you need to be extra careful in picking a quality breeder. Also, don't forget to check the rescue shelters for a small dog that's in need of a home and might love to be your new friend. Pocket puppies, demi dogs, these little creatures can bring fun and joy to our lives. Just remember their needs have to be met to keep them happy and healthy. Then the two of you can be quite the stylish duo.
When looking for the right dog, people often start with the most popular breeds. Well, here's one that tops the charts for its outgoing friendliness. Labrador Retrievers really are a top dog. They're the #1 most popular breed in the US, according to the American Kennel Club. And no wonder. Labrador Retrievers, with their loyal and loving temperament, make excellent hunting dogs and perfect family pets.
When I was young, I had a Labrador Retriever, and I knew that they were really a good breed of dog to have with children. My children were afraid of animals and afraid of dogs. Princess has changed all of that. She is so sweet and so loving with the children. You know, they really can roughhouse with her, and she's always careful with them, but she's also very protective.
The Labrador is really an outdoor dog. It's a sporting dog, a member of the sporting classification of dogs, and it likes to be outside. It has to be well exercised, and it adapts extremely well to the personality and the lifestyle of the individual that they're with. They don't make a good guard dog because they'll make friends with the first person that says a kind word to them. I think that says much for the temperament of the breed.
The Labrador Retriever is a medium to large size breed of dog. They typically weigh between 45 and 75 pounds when they're full grown and come in 3 coat colors, the black, the chocolate Labrador, and the yellow Labrador. Because Labradors like to swim, they are prone to ear infections, and that's something that is important for Labrador owners to watch for.
Princess loves the water. We cannot keep her out of our swimming pool. We have a little stuffed puppy dog, and we call it her baby, and when we throw it into the pool, she will go out and get it and bring it right back to us. I really think she thinks she's saving the puppy.
Labs have been used to sniff out landmines, as seeing eye dogs, and as therapy dogs in hospitals. They're also used to help find people trapped after an earthquake or avalanche.
The Labrador Retriever, I think, is so popular because they're extremely versatile. They're a great family dog. They're very outgoing. They're very loving. They're extremely playful with kids as well, and they adapt their playfulness to the age of the child. They're used for so many different purposes. That's what really has attributed to their becoming the #1 dog in the country today.
Even if your cat seems healthy, you should bring them to the vet on a regular basis. Ideally, about every 6 months is best. Let's look in your eyes. Even though you think they seem healthy, there's many things on a physical exam that your veterinarian might be able to pick up. And it's not just the physical exam that's important, it's also the history taking, where we ask you questions about what your cat is doing at home. Very minor changes in your cat's behavior can indicate serious disease. Some of those things are if your cat is hiding more often than usual, or vocalizing or crying out more than usual as well. There are many things that we can find on a routine exam that you might not notice at home. One of those is potentially your cat could have some dental disease. About 80% of cats over the age of 3 have some form of dental disease and might benefit from a dental cleaning. Another thing that we can find is when we listen to the heart, we may find a murmur. In cats, that can indicate several things, including thyroid disease, heartworm disease, or something wrong with the heart itself. We might actually want to do an ultrasound of his heart or an echocardiogram after that, depending on what we find.
Okay.
In addition to the exam, you and your veterinarian can decide the best vaccination protocol for your cat as well, based on its lifestyle. In this way, not only can we find disease, we can also help prevent disease. So see your veterinarian on a regular basis so your cat has its best chance for a long, happy life.
Wi-Fi 1, Jack's fire request response.
Fortunately, most of us have never seen the inside of a rescue helicopter or met the life-saving medical team who bridged the gap between living and dying. But for Emily Warren, flying in one has been a regular occurrence. In fact, she's been on 5 life flights in the last 4 months.
Our daughter Emily is absolutely a miracle. She has a form of long QT syndrome that is extremely rare, Long QT syndrome is a very life-threatening heart defect where her heart has very life-threatening arrhythmias. The doctor said, we don't think that she's going to survive the second day of life, and here she is 12 years later. This past year, she's been incredibly unstable. Spent almost 6 months in the hospital. So one of the highlights of that stay would be dog therapy visits. And she met a very special dog and a very special dog owner, and that was Joy and Clancy, the beautiful collie.
I feel that animals just have so much compassion and pure love to give us, and they really bring it out in children. And especially when these children are away from their homes and they're in the hospital and they're not feeling well. And when Clancy and I go to the hospital, I can actually feel the energy change in the room when we come in.
Good morning. Did you like to see Clancy this morning?
And it was so exciting as they would knock on the door. Emily would just sit straight up in her bed. Mom, it's Joy, it's Clancy. And she would ask me to put a blanket on the floor so she could just ease out of her bed with her wires and IVs and monitor and just get right down on the floor with Clancy.
There was something about Emily that Clancy just found very special. He would get so still and so docile when he was around Emily.
You could just see the stress leave her body. She would just love on Clancy. And I think as we got to know Joy even better, she would save that visit for the last one, and she would just let Emily spend as much time as she wanted. She really loved Clancy and asked, could I have a collie? Do you think I could ever have a dog like Clancy? And we weren't sure that that would happen, but we said, you know, we'll pick a dog that needs a home. We'll go to a rescue or a shelter, and we'll do that when you're well and you know we're out of the hospital. Joy was actually visiting Emily one evening in the hospital, and she kept telling her doctor that I'm going to get a dog and I'm going to name her Lady. And Joy overheard Emily say that, and she looked at me kind of strange, and she told us about a dog that had been rescued, searching for food. A family had picked him up and had known that Joy had a collie herself. So they called Joy and told her about this collie that they had found.
I said, well, does the dog have a name? And she said, well, they're calling the dog Lady.
Joy felt compelled to tell us about this dog, gave us the phone number, and we called, and it just sounded like a perfect match. So we just felt like it was meant to be.
I don't think it was a coincidence that I got that phone call that morning, that Monday morning, that I was scheduled to go to Wolfson that evening with Clancy.
When Emily and Lady met for the very first time, immediately it was as if they had an understanding. Lady came to Emily, not to myself, not to my husband, and the bond was sealed right then and there. And it was almost as if she knew Emily was a special child and that she could relate to that.
Emily embraced Lady with such a love and just excitement, because I think Lady also needed Emily.
Emily wakes in the morning, pops out of bed, runs to feed Lady. And Lady's there waiting. So they have a very close bond, and Emily seems to enjoy caring for Lady, giving her that love and grooming her and feeding her and thinking of her. And I almost think it's because Emily's received a lot of care herself, and so now she gets to give that to Lady. Emily loves to take her for walks, and she's gaining her strength, and so she loves to walk her to the ice cream shop.
Is it for you today?
No, this is for my dog Lady.
Oh wow, I'm sure she'll enjoy that. It's a really hot day. There you go. Enjoy.
Share an ice cream and just be together. If Emily's playing in her room, that's where I'll find Lady. So they just love to spend their day together. Emily can't wait for Lady and Clancy to meet. We have special visitors coming. Yeah. Miss Joy and Clancy. Yeah. She is so excited. She thinks that immediately they're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, that they're going to love each other just like Emily loves Lady and Joy loves Clancy. see who's here. Hey, Joy, how are you? Come on in. There we go. Look. Oh, ladies. Look how fun.
Let me give Emily a hug first.
Look.
Can't get the dog a hug first.
Clancy.
Lady, come in, baby.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard about Lady, and I knew it had happened, but until we walked in the door and I saw the beautiful collie and saw how attached Emily is and how much Emily loves the dog, it just made me feel so wonderful.
Look at Lady's tail. We haven't seen it going like that. Do I believe in angels on earth? Absolutely. And I believe that it's almost as if Emily is Lady's angel now for rescuing her, but Lady is Emily's angel because she just gives her all this hope and purpose, and just every day she just looks forward to life.